Arkansas, I do love my mom and pop. Let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Konnichiwa, minasan. Welcome back to another video. Sorry, I have a lot of energy right now. I just had some banana bread, which I will post an image of on my Instagram I'll put all my social media links are in the description box. Anyway, I have gotten so many questions about shifting, about if you're able to do this or that, and I decided, instead of answering everything in individual comments, because I know some of you do not read the comments, you do not read the description box, and you forget to do your own research. I feel like that's, in a way, that isn't your fault, because a lot of people nowadays aren't as self-sufficient as they could be, or as they know that they can be. But that's something that I completely understand. For me, I'm used to learning on my own all the time, because for school and stuff, when you don't understand something and you're too scared to ask the teacher, you learn to do everything on your own, because, well, how else are you going to keep those grades up? Alright, so I'm not going to edit pictures of the comments, because I use my phone to record, and usually I'd write it down in my my notebook, but I don't have that on me right now, so I'm just going to scroll through a bunch of my videos and read them off for you. So the first one, I never shifted before, but I'm currently writing my script. Questions: do I have to be a human in my DR? Do I have to write down my real name, or am I able to make one up for myself? Since many people are going to Hogwarts, unlike myself, how would I write a script to enter a reality where I would be a Pokemon? I wouldn't die, but would I get hurt? Would that be okay? Would my current reality self die while I'm in my dream reality? Any Pokemon related things I should make sure to put in my script? Alright, question mark. Alright, so we have a huge batch of questions right there, and I will help you through them. So first off, I want you all to remember the basics of shifting and all the information that, if you have watched it, if you have not, then check it up here. I don't know which corner of the video. Okay, but check out that video on how to script walkthrough, right? Because I explain what is shifting, but since some of you don't, or maybe some of you forget, which is understandable considering how much information a lot of people have to keep in their brains, but these are important things, so please remember them. This is your dream reality. It's called a dream reality for a reason, because, well, it's a creation of what you want it to be. So basically, it follows your dream. Whatever you want it to be, that is what you will script. That is what you can write. So say you want to create a reality where it doesn't exist, like it's not a book series or it's not a movie series or anything like that, that's fine. You know why? Because it's your dream reality in the name. So what's the question? Do I have to be human in my dream reality? So for that, the obvious answer is, say it with me, no. Because it's your dream reality. So that means that you can be whatever you want. You don't even have to be the person that you are now, because that's your dream reality. You can be whatever you want. You can be a cat who's pampered your whole life. You don't have to work a single day. In your dream reality, you can be rich with an infinite amount of money. You can be famous. You can be a K-pop star. That is all because that's your dream reality. Remember, there are an infinite amount of realities, meaning that you can be literally anything. It just so happened that we all live in this reality, but that does not mean that you can't be somewhere else or someone else, and that is the beauty of shifting. Alright, next part of it is, do you have to write down my real name? No, you don't. You don't have to write down your real name. As I said before, this is your reality. Take that and create it. You are a creator. Be the person who molds the clay, Make that thing of clay into something that is special to you, or something that just matches what you see, your vision. That's basically, when you script, you want to match your vision to what you want, your dream reality to what you want. There it is. Alright, next. Hey, I'm sorry my English isn't so good, but I'd like to ask for your help if you want. And I'm very curious what you think because I honestly don't know what to think. I mean, if we change realities every second, it means my family isn't my family? Question mark. I don't understand. I really need your advice, and I hope you answer me. Ever since I found out about infinite realities and how we change them every second, I don't feel close to my family anymore because I feel like it's not them, but just their clones. I don't know if that makes sense. And I also want to know if I can go to another reality with friends but not with their clones, because one person in an amino group said we can't because everyone is living their experience and they will just be their clones. And if I write in my script that I want to move to another reality forever, and I write that in the desired reality I'm immortal, then will I be able to be there forever without dying? Maybe my curiosities don't make sense, but I really need to know because for a few days I feel bad. I feel like my family is not really my family because we are moving from a reality to another. I'm new to this whole thing and I don't know what to think because there are different opinions and I think you know better what it's about. I really hope you answer me. So I did answer this one a week ago, but I thought it would be good to share this with you because a lot of people have similar worries, and I know that some people are either too scared to ask or they don't know how to ask. So I wanted to help you all and, kind of shed some light on that topic. So yes, we do shift realities every second, but that does not mean that everyone in here is a clone because we're all living in this current reality, right? So that means that everyone here is as real as they should be. For example, if you shift to your dream reality, right, and your clone is left here, then that is you in that dream reality. And those people that you're with, they're all real, right? And a lot of them, probably all of them, don't know what shifting is. So that won't be their clone, it'll just be them. I honestly, in my experience, I have not ever used a clone because I haven't had the need to, but this is from what I know and what I have read and done like a bunch of research because research is good. Do some on your own if you're really curious about this, and like maybe you might find something interesting. If you do, share it down below. But what I want to say is that when you think really hard about like the whole concept of how we have infinite realities and there's no, say, what do you call this? Like a real, or rather like a solid vision of what our reality is. It's really odd. And that's why science can sometimes be interesting because it does relate to this. There's certain things like, what is it? This one is called like the infinite realities theory or something. And there's also other theories in science. You can always do research on this and maybe like comment down below. Share what you find out because research is great and it opens your mind to new opportunities and new thoughts. And so, anyways, there's also like the whole parallel realities and the the Schrodinger's cat theory where like something is here but like it's not here, or I don't really know much about the theories but I know the names. So, and a lot of them are interesting, so do check them out. But if that does offer any comfort, then like what I think you should do is just try not to think too much about it, because when I first started to, I thought a lot about how like what is real. If everything is infinite, then how do I know I'm me? And it starts giving you this whole existential crisis. Like, it makes you wonder, is this like the Matrix? Like, are we all just dreaming and someone else is controlling us on the outside? Is this like The Sims, where we've been like, we're all part of a game and we somehow gain consciousness and began creating life and infrastructure, a society, all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting to think about, but I really don't think it's a good idea to think too much about it because then it starts making you worry a lot. But what I replied with was this, kind of long, but when it comes to stuff like this, I try to be as thorough as I can because I don't want anyone to have like misinformation or for someone to like worry so much about this, because when it comes down to it, shifting should be fun. It should be a hobby or something that just reminds you that, oh, you still have people out there who love you. There are still other chances that you can be better, or other chances where you can make what you did wrong, or like something that you regret right. It's interesting like that. And I think that when it comes to shifting, think of it as a positive thing. Don't think too hard about how it can lead to different thoughts about dimensions and places. But so although we change realities every second, this is what I replied with, that doesn't mean the people we are with are all clones. What shifting realities every second means is that the decisions we make impact where we end up. Example, you choose to brush your teeth. I can't read right now. I can't see. I've been on my computer too long. Okay, what that means is that you've shifted to a reality where you chose to brush your teeth instead of simply going to bed. It doesn't mean the people in that reality are clones. It just means that you're in a reality where you chose to brush your teeth. So what I mean is that actions simply impact where you go, or rather where you shift to. To be completely honest, I had the same doubts too at the beginning because I didn't fully understand shifting. But with time and research, I realized that shifting sometimes isn't that widespread. So don't worry, this reality is still real with people and everything. Your family is still your family. And yes, you can move to another reality forever. It's called respawning. But that doesn't mean you're committing suicide. It just means your consciousness will shift to that reality permanently. If you ever do that, make sure you think about it long and hard so you don't regret anything, especially since I like to remind people this. You are loved, and you have people here who will miss you if you're gone forever. Like, although you will leave a clone behind if you script it, then, not if you script it, you will leave a clone behind, period. But even if that does happen, then you're missing out on what your clone is experiencing, and you'll be with someone else. Sure, you'll be in that reality, you might be happy there, but you'll not forget. You might miss what you have here, and sometimes that's something that is hard to give up. At first you think that it's an easy decision, but sometimes it's not. And then as soon as you do it, you might regret it, and you don't want to do that. So if you ever do respond, do your research. Make sure you know what you're doing. And as a reminder, it's not the same as committing suicide. It just means that you're shifting to another reality permanently. So let's keep going. You can go to realities with your friends. Personally, I've never tried it, so I don't know the mechanics of how it works, but it is called group shifting, and there are a fair amount of videos and amino articles about it that you can read. From what I know, your friends will still be your friends. Clones will be left in their current reality if they script it, but when you shift to your dream reality, you will all still be you. And that is because when you group shift, you're supposed to shift to a waiting room before shifting to your dream reality. To conclude, don't worry too much. This reality is still real. All that you do when you shift every second is go to a reality where that action you just did existed. Your family is still real, you're still real, everything is still real. I hope this helped. If you have any idea, okay, but you get the point. Now on to the next question. I have a question. I watched the anime. Never mind. I watched the anime. I would like to shift to MHA in Japanese with English captions. I cannot speak Japanese, so is that why I cannot shift? Alright, so as I said before, when you script, you're basically creating yourself in that other dream reality, right? And as I said before, you're molding what you think into what you want to be. So you can script your height, your hair, what language you speak, what accent you have, what dialect you have, etc. You have full control over everything. And that's the beauty of shifting, but it can also be quite bad in its own way, because if you script everything, then you'll be following, it'll be like a movie. You know exactly what happens, which can sometimes be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what you believe in. But in short, you can script whatever language you want. You don't have to worry about that. That's not why you haven't shifted. It might be because sometimes a lot of people keep thinking about their current reality because either they're too in it with a lot of worries, or it's just hard to focus. I get this question a lot, and it's somewhere in the comments. I see it all the time. But how long does it take me to shift? Personally, it takes about 20 to 40 minutes. And when I do get close, what happens usually is someone brings me back to my current reality, either by talking too loudly or screaming from a YouTube video. And it just bothers me so much. But it happens. You know, sometimes we have to overcome that. I currently have not. So whenever I do get close to shifting, whenever I start having symptoms and I see, you know, my dream reality, or I hear people talking from my dream reality, or I smell something, you know, like peppermint as I scripted. But as soon as that happens, I always hear someone do something, and then I come back here instead of shifting. I don't know if I answered this, but a lot of people ask, do you have to memorize your script? No, you do not. I don't know who like thought about memorizing their script, but like I was never that desperate, or like not desperate, but like I was never that like, oh, I want to shift, like I'm going to shift after I memorize my script. Like I don't know how you guys just decide to memorize a whole script. Maybe because mine is kind of long. I know some people just like write a sentence or two for their script, but like I put a lot of details. So when I heard that, oh, some people memorize their script, I was like, that's insane. It's like memorizing a whole script for a movie, which I know some people have done if you're like a super nerd or something, but you don't have to memorize it. Don't worry about that, because your consciousness already knows that that's what you want as soon as you write it down. So you don't have to memorize it or like constantly run over it like throughout the whole day. But just like if you want, this is something that might help you shift, just look over it, you know, just skim it. You don't have to read it fully. Skim it and then go to sleep. And, you know, do your method, put on that subliminal if you want. Sleep in that comfortable position that you know you will fall asleep in. For beginners, a lot of people say to use starfish, which can be good, but it's so uncomfortable, I know, for a lot of people just like me. So I don't use starfish. I just sleep in whatever position that fits me. But I have trouble sleeping sometimes, so like I roll around a lot. Alright, I think this will be the last question because this video is already super long as it is. I talk a lot when I like to inform people. But so someone asked, this was a month ago, but I think it's really important because someone asked if they can be a certain person from like a show from BNAJ, if they can be an existing character. Yes, you can be an existing character because, as I said before, you can be whatever you want in your dream reality. You can look exactly like that character, maybe even talk exactly like them, or just like literally be that person in your dream reality. But alright, last question. Someone asked if you can shift to reality where it's like crossover with two different anime or like movies or something like that. But as I said before, I really want to make this a point because a lot of people have this question, so that's why I keep using similar questions with that. I keep answering it too because like it's so important. When you make a dream reality, when you shift, like not when you shift, when you make a shifting script, you're creating that reality. You are basically an artist as soon as you put that pencil to the paper or you start writing it on your phone or your notepad. And as soon as you do that, you're creating life, basically. You're deciding what you're going to look like, what language you're going to speak, what dialect you have, what accent, how you look, who you're friends with, or like who you have a relationship with, and where you're going. So basically, you can go anywhere because you're creating it. It's all up to you. So I really want to make that point because a lot of people keep forgetting that you are the writer, literally. Just how Isayama, I think, or is that like Dragon Ball? The manga writer is the person who dictates where the story is going. That is exactly what you are doing when you script. You know. Mata ne! Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also follow some of my socials. Yeah, they're all in the description. You know, maybe don't stalk me actually, but I post stuff on Instagram and I write Wattpad stories and quotative stories. Some of them are cringy, but I'm working on that. I promise. Anyway,